Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Project George. Project George has an MOT, it has insurance, and now it just needs a clean up before going on the road. Yes, a proper one, not just a wash. Oh, no way, no, this paint's going to get properly renovated. Well, by me, so slightly cack-handed, but I'll give it a go. That'll do. Not really, that was a joke. I'm not going to be massively ambitious with this today because I have got other things to do and it's already well into the afternoon. I'll give it a wash, try and remove some of this green stuff that's settled in the gaps, clean these wheels up somewhat, and then choose a panel to try and renovate. I think it would be a little bit unrealistic to try and get the whole lot done today. So, here goes! I think it would be a little bit unrealistic to try and get the whole lot done today. So, here goes! Starting with this first, just brushing it like that, get into the gap. And that water has already turned green. Bucket number 4. It is just a quick wash over, really, just to start with, but although you can see the paint's flat, what you can't see is how it feels. It feels really rough. It feels almost like a 2500 grit sandpaper or something. The clay bar alone will work wonders on this. Nice close-up of this before I get started. Yes, I'm going to do the bonnet first. I think that can be seen. So these horrible dark patches, black bits everywhere, totally lacking in shine. Time for some magic trickery. Quick go over with the paint renovator, making it look like a snakeskin bonnet. Rather unusually for Britain, it started raining, and you may well know that rain and electricity are not a good mix. What I can do though, start working those wheels. It's not reacting with the acid quite as much as I was hoping, but the rear wheel certainly seems to have come up well. And I've had one go on this one so far, but it needs a bit more. Well, that's my first attempt clay barring, then buffing. And it does look better, but it's nowhere near good enough. You can still see all these marks everywhere. So it's going to need a much deeper cleaning than that. I have most definitely given myself quite a challenge here. This kind of paintwork's quite good exercise actually. My mop's not very good, it keeps coming off the thing, the spinny thing. You know, the spinny thing, what's it called? What's that spinny thing called on the buffer? The rotational thing anyway. So I resorted to continuing by hand. And it's hard work. I'm still not happy with the result. I've spent a very long time on this so far. It's still kind of patchy. It's quite a bit shinier. It's a lot better than the roof. But it's taking much more work than I was expecting. So I'm going to go for a slightly different panel, one that might be easier. This rear quarter, I think. It's really very rough again, but should be easier. Well, this rear quarter's starting to come up a bit. I can't fix that, and if I go over the top of here, we can see it's nice and shiny. When you look really closely, you can see lots of micro scratches and stuff still bonded to the paint. It looks a lot better there than it does there. I suspect this car's had one too many machine car washes to come up with that quite an expensive polish job. So I'll have to just carry on working one panel at a time, make it gradually better. Just giving the boot a once over, much better, although it's still got these stains tree sap stains or something. Slight change of plan then. I was just going to try and get one panel perfect, but being as I can't get one panel perfect, although I may as well just get all of them a bit better. So get all of them a bit better and then concentrate on individual panels. Got it? Yes. Look at this, it's starting to work. Look at that. Fabulous. Look at that, it's really starting to shine now. I'm going to give myself another hour to do the other side. So that currently looks like this. That is me finished for the day on Project George here. I am quite pleased with the results on quite a bit of it. If only the sun was out at the moment, this really would look very nice. Provided you can ignore the roof, the paint has come up quite well. Not perfect, there's still plenty more to do on it. And the wheels have come up quite well. Not perfect, but much better than before. The scuffs on the bumper, yes, the scuffs on the bumper need paint, not polish. Bonnet will eventually come up. It's come up much better than it was, but it's not good enough, let's say. So the bumpers I haven't touched. All down this side as well. All been polished up very nicely, and there's a few marks that I haven't managed to wipe off, but that is almost gleaming in fact. The boot was also quite tough, but that's come up reasonably well. Just some stains from tree sap stains or something like that still causing me a problem. And that bumper I haven't cleaned either, and the roof I haven't even touched, but I will do at some point. I'm going to need quite a bit of motivation and loads of elbow grease to get that one done. Obviously I haven't touched the interior, but there's not really a lot that needs doing. It'd be nice to do something with this, but I'm not sure what I can do with it. Certainly from this distance it looks rather lovely. You have to get reasonably close before you start to spot some of its imperfections. Well, that was a rather successful day, and I don't mind saying so. The only thing is, all that bending around has given me a nasty bout of sciatica. Earlier on, you would have assumed I'd developed Tourette's or something. And now, before the other section of this video, I'd quite like to thank my sponsors for buying me beer. Thank you, Matthew. Need to do some more beer reviews, I think. I feel very excited to be starting some sort of work on this Rover 600 automatic today. I don't know how much I'll get done, but I'm really looking forward to this one. Maybe it's because I've always had an unexplainable soft spot for the 600. Nostalgia could explain it. The car firmly rooted in the 90s, unlike the 200 and 400 of this generation, that then turned into the 25 and 45 respectively, and hung around until 2006. As a fan of MG Rover, I still think they outstayed their welcome with those particular cars. The last one of these was made in 1999, and it was still a very nice car of its time. And I have lots and lots of work to do on this, starting with the MOT. There is a possibility, a small possibility, but a possibility all the same, that I might just be able to get that done today, and if not Thursday. Or is it Wednesday? No, Thursday. In the meantime, I can have a good look around it and make sure it doesn't really need anything. I put it on my insurance. Yes, so that's 1/3 of the way to going back on the road already. There is so much to clean up on this car. The paintwork. Can you see just how flat that's gone? You probably can't, but it has. It's gone really flat indeed. That will come up rather lovely. That's the plan, at least. But the car isn't actually dirty, it's just been stood. And when things are left to stand, spiders move in. Dirt gets stuck on it. Green stuff starts to form along every crease. Brakes go rusty, and more spiders find their home under the bonnet. So far, all the lights work. Big tick there. I switched on the air conditioning and that works. Big tick. And then, rather unusually, the one thing that I was told didn't work was the electric windows. They do work, they're just a bit stiff. Another big tick. Lovely. Having had another good inspection underneath, I can't see anything wrong. So, I shall give it a brake test on the gravelly bit. Perfect! The Rover 600 was one of their least popular cars, but I think it was actually quite possibly their best car. As you can see, the Rover 600 is not there, and that's because it's just gone in next door for its MOT. So, the news is good. I've taken George in for its MOT and he's passed. There's just one very small advisory. Nothing to be concerned with at all. So that means that this lovely 600 is actually going to become my daily motor. Along with Nigel, of course. By the way, I enjoyed that banana.